Hi, everybody. It is Jen Jodwin here, Advanced Holistic Nutritionist from Healthy Living with Jen J. I'm here today to talk to you just briefly, actually, about calcium and our children. Okay, so if you have children who are following a plant-based lifestyle, this information is really crucial to that. And it's going to help support you in ensuring that your children are getting the proper nutrients. And of course, if you are not following a plant-based lifestyle, this is still important information that you should know about child nutrition. So calcium is really key for healthy bone development, which I think most of us know, right? But it's also really key for muscle strength and contractions and just ensuring muscle repair. So a large proportion of bone mass is laid before the age of 8 years old, which is actually 45% of our bone mass is created before we reach 8 years old. Another 45% is laid between the ages of 8 and 16 years old, with an additional 10% being laid in the next 10 years, so between 16 and 26 years old. So it's clear to see that sufficient calcium in these early years is crucial for optimizing peak bone mass. So important choices of calcium can include things like fortified plant-based milks, which have both calcium and vitamin D, soya yogurts and calcium-rich cereals, other plant-based milks such as oat or coconut, which have been fortified with calcium. However, a lot of those ones are not fortified with vitamin D, depending on the brand. So just ensure that vitamin D is also being supplemented, because that is a very important nutrient in our bodies. Rice milk is another option as well, and this can be used as a main drink from children over the age of 5 years. And the reason for that is just because there are some rice milks where you run the risk of arsenic poisoning and just higher levels of toxins. So ensuring waiting till your child is over the age of 5 is usually better. Also too, under the age of 5, your children are growing rapidly. Huge leaps and bounds of development are happening in those first 5 years of life. And so they require high levels of good, healthy fat sources. And those healthy fat sources you can get in actually soy milk, but you wouldn't generally find it in rice milk. So optimizing, the small window of opportunity that you have for your children to eat and drink in a day because of the size of their small stomachs, you want to make sure that you are feeding them the most nutrient dense and the most beneficial options throughout the day. But another couple of really great sources of calcium for your kids would be almonds, calcium set tofu, beans. I know black beans and white lima beans contain high levels of calcium, and green leafy veggies, including broccoli, Brussels sprouts, the cruciferous veggies. So calcium requirements for different ages are varying. So I will include in the Facebook group actually an upload where you can access just the daily requirements of what children need for calcium at different age levels. But it is important to note here that calcium that has been obtained from dark leafy greens can be difficult to absorb. And this is because of an anti-nutrient known as an oxalate, which actually binds to our calcium receptors, interfering with our ability to absorb that calcium. But these oxalates can be disabled by just lightly steaming your dark leafy greens and your cruciferous veggies for about 8 minutes, or even throwing them in your pressure cooker steamer for 0 minutes to deactivate those anti-nutrients. So really quick, easy way to do that. One other important note here about calcium is that calcium and iron actually compete for absorption. So you do want to avoid feeding your children food that are high in one or the other within a small time period. So generally you want to wait a minimum of 1 hour, ideally 2 to 3 hours between foods that are high in either one, calcium or iron, to avoid that competition of the absorption. So I hope this information was helpful. If you have any questions about calcium or your children's diet or getting enough calcium, or you'd like to know more information, please leave me a comment below. Also, if you liked this video and you found it helpful, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share this video on your social media. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching. Bye.